Cancer. We are going into a new moon in Cancer very soon, 2024, and this is a reading for Cancer Sun, Cancer Moon, Cancer Rising for July 2024. We will be in a period of full moon in Capricorn, as well as new moon in Cancer and then Leo. July 2024, what is in store for you, Cancer? Your birthday season, happy birthday. If you are a Sun Cancer, if that's your sun sign. Cancer, what's in store for you for July 2024? Sensitive, protective. Oh, okay. Well, it shot out over here, actually, so I'm thinking that recently there was some unpredictability, that recently there was some very nascent, very obviously random. Perhaps something was uncertain in your recent past and you weren't sure how it was going to pan out. And, now you're here, you're watching this, so it panned out enough anyway. Perhaps right now, July 2024, as you're watching this, or, as you're about to go in, if you're watching this in June, perhaps right now you're in a period of reflecting over the changes that you've made. I mean, it's clear that you're in a place of reflection. The 7 of Pentacles, I mean, he is grateful. He is just standing there, leaning. He's leaning because he's been standing there so long. And he's standing there because he's appreciative of the fruits of his labor. He's appreciative that there are fruits at the fuck all. And here, there's the other side of that. What if my fruits disappear? What if this? What if that? The anxiety of the swords, of the 4 of Swords. But it's still a very reflective kind of a place. And the Knight of Wands tells me that your July 2024, you're right now, this region of time for you has a lot to do with passionate change. Passionate change, and perhaps the reflection is about that change and about that, that randomness that now you're trying to really direct it. Now you're here. Wheel of Fortune, you're not in that. That's in the sky, Cancer. You're not. You can't control the Wheel of Fortune. You can control the Knight of Wands. I mean, barely, because he's he's crazy, but you can, because that's you. You're the knight. You are the knight in that case, and you are wielding your wand. You are wielding your creative power to what? Let's see. What's in your future? The Magician. Okay. Yeah, that tracks. And the Page of Cups. Page of Cups I'm not sure about, actually. Let's clarify. I mean, if ever there was a Cancerian card, is it the Page of Cups? Cancers are sensitive. Page of Cups are sensitive, but playful. So perhaps they have slightly better boundaries somehow. Cancer, you are intuitive and protective. Oh. Maybe your intuition is, maybe you're feeling it, but you're not quite accessing it in the near future. That's, Wow. Wow. That moon came up like upside down, clear as, I mean, you know, if it's ambiguous, I don't usually read upside down, but if it's clear, like if it's clearly reversed, it's clearly reversed. That's interesting. I think that it's a problem of accessing your intuition, Cancer. You know, maybe you're just in the thick of it. Maybe you're just in the thick of it. Let's clarify your past a little bit more. Let's clarify what came before July 2024 a little bit more. Oh. Cancer. Thank you, Cancer. Oh, what do we got here? Another night. More change, more direction, pivots, change, you know, change is the word for the night, I think. But when it's the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles is a little bit more careful. He's a little bit more conservative. He may be a teenager, but he is a teenager that has a savings account. He is a teenager that washes the dishes. He is a teenager that knows value. And he's paired with the Emperor, who's convicted, standing in his truth, standing on business, leading the charge. The Emperor is able to take that change, that conservative change, and put his foot down about it and really be assertive about it. The Emperor and the Knight of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune and wow, the Ten of Pentacles. Wow. It seems there was a lot at stake in the recent past. Can we say that, Cancer? Can we say that for you? A lot at stake. Like you had already worked so hard for so many things to come to fruition. You had made sacrifices. You had been assertive. You had made conservative changes. You had culminated all these. Look at all these pentacles. Look at all these major arcana, like life lessons. Cancer, I think you understand what is at stake for you, and your present moment is just one of sitting with it and trying to really wield it and create something sustainable and better and long-term and stronger. And that's why the magician is coming up to say, okay, yeah, we got the hang of this. The Knight of Wands just upgraded. The Knight of Wands just graduated. Can we call it that? To the magician. Now we're a little bit more mature. We're a little bit more capable. We're a little bit more of a professional. And what is that magician doing? He's got, I think it's that cup. It's that cup, Cancer. You are a water sign through and fucking through. Like, you are also the Emperor. Like this right here is you're protective. You will fiercely protect whoever you're loyal to. And if they burn you, you will fiercely protect your right to be burned. To be like, I'm not. What do they call that? There's a word for it that I'm blanking on. It's not stubborn quite. You hold a grudge. You hold a grudge, Cancer. You hold a grudge. And yet, unlike some other signs, if somebody really needs, like if somebody that you had a connection with really needs you, it is hard for you to completely not help them. Like, if unless I would say it is really toxic or abusive, you will kind of like put a T minus, time out. You will put I'm going to time out on this grudge. I'm going to help you. And then I'm going to go immediately back to having a grudge. So the Page of Cups is interesting because in your near future, you're playing with some new relationships here. You're playing with some new connection. It's like all of this that you've created is leading up to this new connection. And I would be careful because your normally intuitive self is it's going to be interrupted. The moon reversed tells me that there's some mystery, but instead of it being clear to you what the mystery is, or you intuiting, like having a sense of what the mystery is, or what the shadow may be, or what is in the shadows, instead of that, you're not even like, you're 10 steps behind that in the sense that you're not even sure that there is a mystery. Like you're not even informed of the mystery, let alone what the mystery is. So there's this disconnect from your usual high priestessing self, from your usual intuition. And perhaps this is a lifelong struggle for you. Cancer, in particular cancers, you've gone through perhaps some trauma in your lifespan, and you've endured some hits. And what that can lead to is a disconnect, detachment from yourself, from your true abilities. This card is coming up for a reason, though, which tells me that there is a connection to this moon. It's coming up because it may be reversed, yes. So it should be, could be, would be that, but it's not. Okay, fine. But it's coming up. It still popped out. So there is still some connection to it. It's just kind of like, it's there. It's there, and you can connect to it. Perhaps with these new connections and friendships and partnerships, relationships that you're playing with, that you're creating. Or perhaps you need to be careful because you don't have access to that normal intuition that you should, could, would. So you need to watch your step a little bit and have your guard up a little bit with this new connection that is possible for you. Just to, let's further clarify that. Because my thinking is that if you're not in touch with your intuition, you're not in touch with even the fact that there are mysteries. It seems to me that there's some like two of swords, some blindness, some blind spots. What do I have? 10 of spring. 4 of those 10 of wands, essentially carrying so much. But in this card, this interpretation of the 10 of wands is interesting because it doesn't feel as heavy. 4 of spring, be grateful you have so much to celebrate. And 5, unity, the Hierophant. Okay. So, Cancer. Cancer. Yeah. Try to feel out the shape of the reading because it's somewhat intuitive, but it's also somewhat structured, right? So in this case, I did kind of a past, present, future, and now I'm clarifying. I'm kind of figuring out, kind of figuring out how these should go. And it goes based on a combination of, critical thinking and what makes sense, as well as feeling it out intuitively, as well as going with the colors and the shapes. But I guess that's critical thinking related. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. We're going to further clarify. Well, that was fast. Okay. Yep. It's kind of like formatting a design, actually. If you think about it. Wands, Hierophant, Two of Cups, 10, 4. We got 2 10s in your past and present, and then a page and a 2. So there's some Page of Cups and Two of Cups tells me that there's new friendship or a new angle or a new perspective on a friendship. There's some sharing and feelings, having good times together, laughing, crying together. You're really going to be in your social self in the near future. And the 4 of Spring tells me that perhaps, maybe you'll be attending a wedding, maybe it'll be your own. Be grateful. You have so much to celebrate, it says. Deep feelings of peace and happiness. A contented personal life. So, yeah, 4 of Spring or Wands is sometimes thought of as marriage related. Yeah. You're coming from a focus, from reflective of what you've worked on, and now you're sharing it. You're sharing it with the people that you love, with the people that love you. And I think you're using all of these experiences to ultimately, for the sake of another, for the sake of others, I should say, for multiple others. You're role modeling. The Hierophant is the number 5, which in the minor arcana is traditionally not like super fun or pleasant. The 5 of Wands is conflict and conflicting and competitive. The 5 of Swords is, sore winning, sore losing, another card of competition and conflict. 5 of Cups is grief and loss, and what am I missing? 5 of Pentacles is poverty, impoverished. But the 5 in the major arcana, while it has something to do with conflict, it has something to do with pitting things against each other. What you're pitting against each other is simply information. And the purpose of that comparing and contrasting the information is to learn and to teach. You see, the 5 is the Hierophant, is about tradition, routine, and role modeling that and teaching that to the next generation, the other people, what have you. So the card says, do the right thing for the right reason. Compare tradition versus new approaches. New approaches, tradition. Okay? To see what works for you. A spiritually minded community. Experiment. See what works for you. Okay, Cancer? This is your birthday season. This is July 2024. For many of us watching this, it'll be the Northern Hemisphere. You'll be in the summertime. Get out there. This is a time to have fun. This is a time to be with your friends. This is a time to have those emotions, experience them, and share them. This present moment that you're about to step away from is reflective, and you're in your solitude and you're carrying a lot. It's time to just in the near future, it's time to kind of go on to the next stage. Believe me, you'll be back. Life is a continuous cycle, and just as this too shall pass, so will this. so did this, right? It's all temporary. Enjoy it. That's what I said to someone today. I said, enjoy it. It's not perfect, but enjoy it. Why not? Okay. Beautiful. If this resonated for you, Cancer, please like, please comment, please subscribe. These signals will tell me to keep making these videos, which is great for everyone involved because I have so much fun doing it. And if you gain something from it, if you have learned anything about yourself or reflected, or had an insight that you think might be helpful to you, please let me know. Please let us know, let the community know, so that we can keep doing it, so that we can keep having fun and being reflective and growing and getting better and stronger. Cancer, enjoy your July 2024. Be well, have fun with those relationships. Have a good time at that wedding if you go. I'm out.